welcome to the picturesque but blustery circuit of Anglesey in North Wales for the penultimate rounds of Mini Challenge 2011. Last time out at Donington there was plenty of drama and some heart-fought battles, and that's going to continue this weekend as the weather will play a huge part in the proceedings. George, talk us through what happened yesterday and what you did to your child.
I don't really want to talk about it. I mean, I really screwed up. He had an accident right in the first corner and got smashed by somebody. Got lots of damage, and I could see that his rear axle, the rear wheel was really out of alignment. So I'm sort of on him, and I'm thinking I'm never that close to Lee. I got too hot into the corner, braked up, and as I braked up, the car washed out. He's coming across, and I collected him, spun him 360 degrees. Not clever.
I didn't know how bad my car was damaged from the first accident after the start line. I knew I had a problem because I couldn't catch him, but I don't understand how he got so hot into the corner and ran into me as well. I was like, it's a no-no, isn't it?
Didn't do it intentionally.
No,
and I mean, I guess I'm paying for this some way. So,
what happened at Park Fairmount? You got out of the cars?
No, I didn't get out of the car. I just sat in the car and kept myself to myself.
This is Mini's first time out at Anglesey, and it's a challenging circuit. There's lots of undulation and it's notorious for its changing weather conditions. The wind is certainly going to be an issue. Ben, it's over to you.
Thanks, Mima. The Minis taking to the grid for what promises to be an absolutely electrifying race. If every other encounter we've seen this season is anything to go by, with Chris Knox in pole position from Sam Osborne. Newcomer Reece Lloyd well up in third position. He should go well. And Andrew Bailey also strong qualifying for him in fourth position, with Lee Sullivan and Luke Cordell rounding out row three. The cars are ready for the off, and away we go. It's the white car of Knox that gets away well from the line. Also a super start from Lianen as we look back from Chris Knox, who has taken the lead through turn one, with Sam Osborne therefore demoted in second. Everybody else charging through. A good clean start already. The club class battle is kicking off between Ant Wharton-Eales, the man just ahead of us, and Dean Raymond, the man we're riding with, into the Booker track banking for the first time as Reece Lloyd is pushed out wide. Lianen looking to gain ground. We've got a bit of an instant further back. It's Craig Freeman recovering there in the number 3 car as the leaders accelerate through Church for the first time and then on towards School, climbing the hill up to Rocket. Superstar from Andrew Bailey too. We're in car with Finley Crocker, and that's why Gavin Bristow going around. Slight contact there with Stuart Lyons as back ahead of the field. Still, it's Chris Knox who leads it, and this is the way Knox likes his race. He likes to get into the lead early on and try and drive away from the rest of the pack, which is not going to happen here, is it? Because the rest of them are all pretty much in a single queue behind him, with Osborne in second, Bailey in third, Cordell in fourth, Lianen in fifth, Reece Lloyd in sixth, and Lee Sullivan well up in seventh position as well, accelerating down the Tom Price straight for the first time of asking, and into the hairpin. And still Chris Knox is there in lead, trying to pull away from Sam Osborne. Andrew Bailey in the blue and yellow car, they're coming to real pressure from Luke Cordell and Lee Allen. Cordell is looking for a move here as they accelerate on towards the end of the lap. Is he going to make a move into left-hander? We'll see. He's tucked into the slipstream. I'm not sure he's going to be quite close enough. Here we go, and yes, Cordell has sneaked through just. So Luke Cordell up into third position as he chases down Chris Knox, because Cordell likes nothing except for winning, and third place for him quite simply isn't good enough, but he's got a little bit of ground to make up here as Lianen goes across the grass, and this time that isn't father aided. That's a slight error from Lianen, but he does rejoin in fifth momentarily as Reece Lloyd and Lee Sullivan go through, and then he rejoins just in front of his dad, who avoids his rear bumper this time, as Finley Crocker's having a good tussle here. He's on the tail of Gavin Bristow, so Finley Crocker making progress up through the field as Dean Raymond has found his way past Ant Wharton-Eales, although Wharton-Eales looking to retaliate almost immediately. Wharton-Eales has been pretty dominant in the club class this season, although that's in terms of the results, because Dean Raymond and have been battling in every single round, as Ant Wharton-Eales very kindly giving a slight helping hand to Dean Raymond along the straight. The battle at the lead is joined between Chris Knox and Luke Cordell. This is the battle we wanted to see this weekend. The two championship protagonists been together on the track for most of this season, and these cars are so evenly matched. It really does come down to driver ability and the small tweaks the drivers are allowed to make to the cars in terms of setup as well. But you can see that there is absolutely nothing to choose between Knox and Cordell once more. So Luke Cordell in the black car, sitting on the tail of the Scotsman Chris Knox, as they turn through the Booker track banking and then accelerate on towards Church as we ride back in car with Finley Crocker. He goes for a trip across the grass, as does Gavin Bristow ahead of him. They're both going to rejoin. with varying degrees of dignity, but Finlay Crocker has actually been able to get past Gavin Bristow there, so he gains the place and hopefully not done any damage to that car as he sets off in hot pursuit of Stuart Lyons. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Something could be a bit amiss. That's a well held, but a big slide as Wales Nils goes back lead the club class, and through he goes, 2 wheels on the curb, but he makes the move stick, gets on the power nice and early. Hear him revving the engine, and yes, Wales Nils has made his way up into the lead of the club class as Rhys Lloyd and Lee Sullivan coming under real pressure here. In the case of Rhys Lloyd from Sullivan, closing on the tail of Andrew Bailey as well, who is there in 4th. Lee Allen up into 3rd position. And look at this. Now, what can Rhys Lloyd do about keeping Lee Sullivan at bay? Well, Rhys Lloyd has made his name racing Welsh saloons as Sam Osborne and Finlay Crocker are in the pits. Luke Cordell and Chris Knox are coming onto the tail of Patrick Mortimer to put a lap onto Patrick. Chris Knox is through cleanly. What about Luke Cordell, and a spin there for Patrick Mortimer. Mortimer rotates and Luke Cordell sees a gap to the inside. Through he goes. He doesn't actually really lose much ground there to Chris Knox, as it immediately is onto his tail. We're into the closing stage of the race here. Just a couple more corners to go. The last thing you want at the last lap is a spinning back marker. But can Cordell find his way through? We've just got the left-hander to go at the bus stop between Chris Knox, another race victory in 2011, and can Cordell make the move onto 2 wheels through the curbs? Is Cordell, but it's not going to be enough. Chris Knox punches the air in delight, and he wins with Cordell in 2nd. What a race between the pair of them, with then a slight gap into 3rd, and Lee Allen to round out the podium, and Chris Knox receiving the applause of the spectators, very well deserved. So it is Knox who gets the win from Luke Cordell. Lee Allen in 3rd. Well done to Andrew Bailey in 4th, with Rhys Lloyd in 5th and Stuart Lyons rounding out the top 6. In terms of the class, in the John Cooper Works class, it was Chris Knox, Luke Cordell and Lee Allen. And in the club class, and Wales Nils claiming another victory from Dean Raymond and Justina Williams.
Chris, a nice day for it.
Yeah, it's a bit windy here. Yeah, I got a race win yesterday. It was just a pretty straightforward race. Got off the line well and just pulled out a nice lead and looked after the tyres. Today we got off the line well, got an early lead, but the car didn't have the pace from yesterday, and Luke caught me up quite quickly. Managed to hold him back, but on lapping one of the club cars, one of them made contact with me, which kind of compromised my car a bit. So luckily enough, it kind of compromised Luke as well, and we just kind of held him off to the line.
You're under pressure from Dean Raymond a lot, as you were in that race just there. What goes on in your head when that's happening?
Yeah, he's really quick here this weekend, and as soon as I get behind him, I've always got that urge to pass him straight away, which it might not work out for us if we have a DNF. But we'll just have to see how it goes and hopefully just keep racking up them points.
Mini Challenge is a very popular race series, and of course the car is very popular too. And although we have plenty of regulars in the championship, it's always nice to see a new face. Rhys, you're new to Mini Challenge. This is a slight baptism of fire, is it not?
It is, yeah. The weather doesn't help much, but yeah, it's really good, really competitive series, and it's nice to get out amongst a lot of cars today.
The first time out for you yesterday, and you came in 4th, which is fantastic. I mean, this is such a competitive series.
Yeah, we qualified 8th, we finished 4th. We made a few places up in the race, but the action is so close, and you make a mistake and you lose a couple of places very easily.
Now, Anglesey, have you raced here before?
I've raced here once before. Everyone thinks it's a local circuit, but it's actually quite a long way. But it's a really nice circuit, very good circuit, yeah. Yeah,
you're quicker to get to Brands Hatch than it is for you to get to here.
Quicker to get a lot of places then, yeah, but it's worth the trip up, definitely worth the trip.
So it's time for the second race of the day, and the rain has just started coming down. So as you can see, tyres are being changed right now to wets, which is probably a wise decision because already there's enough challenges out there with the wind and the circuit itself. The top 3 drivers in the championship are also the top 3 on the grid for this race.
This should be an absolute cracker. Thanks, Mima. The car's taking to the grid now, and this is how they're going to line up, with in pole position Chris Knox, with Luke Cordell alongside Lee Allen in 3rd, Andrew Bailey 4th, with Rhys Lloyd and Stuart Lyons locking out row 3, and Craig Freeman rounding out the top 10.
Lee Allen, who is currently leading the championship, did not have time to change his tyres, or maybe it was his choice not to change his tyres to wets. So he is on slicks, Chris Knox and Luke Cordell are on wets. This is going to be a very interesting race.
It's going to be very lively, and once again the Minis get underway. There's a super start here from Chris Knox, who moves into the lead. Well, Lee Allen, he's not hampered by the slick tyres off the line. He's challenging Luke Caudle for second, into turn with Andrew Bailey well up in fourth position, though he's coming under pressure from Rhys Lloyd as well. But look at the rain now coming in as they arrive into the Booker Track banking, and if Lee Allen gets round this corner, I will be very impressed indeed. He does, he holds on, and he actually maintains his third position as well, as we ride in car with Patrick the Rainmeister Mortimer, who whenever it gets wet goes superbly in the club class, and that's exactly what he's doing already, moving into lead the class in the early stage of the race as wipers ablaze from Chris Knox and Luke Caudle. We're in car with Kevin O'Connor. It's been a good start here from Kevin, one of his best runs of the season so far. He is hot on the heels of Andrew Bailey, who in turn is chasing down Lee Allen, as there goes Kevin. We're in car with Rhys Lloyd, who moves through the gears up into Rocket. Kevin O'Connor pressurising Andrew Bailey, who goes through past Lee Allen, and Lee Allen had to run out of grip at some point in that one, but he still holds on to fourth position. Just about very, very close there between Kevin O'Connor and Lee Allen. All of that has served to give the leading duo, Chris Knox and Luke Caudle, a bit of a jump ahead of the pack, as Rhys Lloyd is in hot pursuit of Sam Osborne. Just wonder whether Rhys is on slicks as well, because he does seem to be struggling a little bit for grip, as Caudle once more takes his time pressurising Chris Knox into the hairpin. He's just forcing Knox to go defensive, maybe make an error on this slippery circuit. Rhys Lloyd, yes, definitely struggling for grip there as Chris Oakman goes around the outside of him. So Oakman gains the place in the 51 car as Patrick Mortimer leading the club class here. Super drive from Patrick, pulling well clear of Stuart Lyons, one of the John Cooper Works classes. Caudle makes another bid to go past Chris Knox. He looks the outside into the Booker Track banking, but Knox then slithers slightly offline as well. But Caudle keeps his foot in around the outside. Will he then get the switch back into Church? That's what he's looking for. We ride in car with Chris Knox as Caudle looks to the inside, and Caudle's going to go through and take the lead, or is he? No! Audacious driving from the pair of them, but Knox holds on as Stuart Lyons recovers from a bit of a moment there. So Lyons recovers back on track as Knox has held on to lead the race. Caudle still in second, giving Chris just a little tap to let him know that he's there, and goes through. So Caudle gains the lead of the race. Chris Knox looks to fight back immediately. Again, these cars are so evenly matched, and it really is Luke Caudle and Chris Knox driving at the very limit of their abilities here, drawing them away from the head of the field and fighting it out for the championship honours, because with Lee Allen struggling for grip in this race, they've got a good chance to extend their championship lead. We are going for a short break, and the battles will continue here at Anglesey in a couple of moments' time.